Oh, yeah.
It's horrible, but hilarious. But Ed Sullivan, that's how long he's been around.
Wow. That's a long time.
Yep.
And yet he decided to do The Scout for some reason.
I know.
Man, also stars Brendan Fraser, who been around a lot, like back in the 80s and 90s, or more, I guess, in the 90s than anything, and then took a break from acting for a while. Recently, had a comeback and saw acclaim in The Whale, and was also in Killers of the Flower Moon. But back when I remember him most from Encino Man, The Mummy,
George of the Jungle.
Monkey
yeah,
Bone.
Jungle.
What?
Bedazzled.
I'm wondering, Zach, if you're a fan of Encino Man, you're a big, Bill and Ted fan. I wonder if Encino Man got you the same way.
I liked Encino Man. It didn't have the Bill and Ted just like mega positivity, I think that but I was actually more into Airheads with Brendan Fraser.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
That's the what radio station they take over to radio station?
That had sort of I don't know if it had like a Bill and Ted vibe, but it was just like just a very fun movie.
Jim's seen all of these movies, by the way, 100%.
Well, 80s, 90s, of course. Come on. I've seen them all.
He had such a typecast as such a character, Brendan Fraser, as almost like a goofy or airheaded, dumbling kind of guy. And now later in life, serious roles, like really thoughtful, kind of heavy, meaty roles. It's nice to see him stretching different muscles as he's matured.
I think he's always been a good actor, but he also gets just a lot of like nostalgia credit, I think. Like we just all the movies we named, he was just like a sort of presence in the 80s and 90s, and then left the business mostly out of, not because he wanted to. And now that he came back, he's still able to sort of back it up. The Whale was not that good of a movie. I know this isn't the Whale podcast, but he is just very good.
I actually have not seen The Whale, so I cannot comment. I know that, Brendan Fraser was in that Pauly Shore era where Pauly also left acting, probably better for everyone.
Probably because people wanted
involved. But, that little bit of backstory of Brendan Fraser's removing himself from the entertainment industry was he had a run-in with Philip Burke, who was the president of the Hollywood Foreign Press Association, and apparently he alleges that he was sexually assaulted / groped at a party, and that was the thing that kind of just sent him over the edge. But he also had a lot of physical roles when he was doing The Mummy and some of those other parts. He had several surgeries, like back surgeries, and suffered a lot of physical ailments from being so physical with his roles. So he thought maybe it's too tough on his body, definitely too tough on his psyche. And then, really brave for him to come out and tell his story. There's so many females who come out with harassment. It is refreshing and a good reminder that this is happening all across the board, something that needs to be examined, looked at a little bit more closely.
Sure. Yeah, I've always thought of Brendan Fraser as kind of like a physical, I mean, obviously because, it's George of the Jungle, but yeah, it's kind of not like a muscle head, but he could play a jock or something.
Yeah, I mean, The Mummy was like an Indiana Jones type, all physical.
Yeah,
totally.